world. Actions have consequences. Tonight, Liberty University is holding them accountable. Joining us now with the report is Liberty president himself, Jerry Falwell Jr. So they wrote all these headlines. Not one kid got COVID-19. You had no trespassing signs. They came from an actual hot spot to a place that wasn't a hot spot. And they didn't give you an opportunity to respond?
Not only no, they didn't. But not only are they a bigoted bunch of liars, but and also BuzzFeed type clickbait publication now. But they're also stupid because they came on campus. We had 25 at least no trespassing signs everywhere, and they were dumb enough to take pictures of the signs and publish them. So we got warrants out for their arrest, and they had to cut a deal with the local prosecutor to keep from going to jail. But that's how dumb they are. And they got their information. They were here for a few days, I think. But they got their information from a doctor who has a practice 10 miles away from Liberty, who had seen a few Liberty kids who had a cold and upper respiratory problem, and none of it was anything like COVID symptoms. And he told them that. And he told the reporters to go talk to our on-campus doctor at our clinic on campus, and they wouldn't do it. They didn't talk to us. We tried to get them to correct all the false headlines that you just recited. They wouldn't do it. They actually doubled down, lied some more. And so we had no choice. They left us with no choice but to defend our reputation because it scared parents. We had 1,200 kids who, you know, some of them had elderly relatives living at home, didn't have high-speed internet, so they couldn't do online education at home. They were international students. They had no choice, but out of 8,000 normally here, we had about 1,200 here this spring. We abided by all the governor's rules, and not one case came out of it. Zero.
Jerry, I read it was a powerfully written case. This has the potential perhaps to be a landmark case. We have Times v. Sullivan, which I think is poorly worded, needs to be revamped. Nicholas Sandman's going to be a very rich kid. When I think of cases and lawyers, I think of Lynn Wood, one of the best. Charles Harder, one of the best. I know Michael Bowie. Michael Bowie happens to be a friend of mine. One of the best as well. You're going all the way because these lawsuits take years, can be very expensive.
Yeah, but that's okay because it's expensive for them too. And New York Times versus Sullivan was one of the first cases I learned about in law school, and it's a license to lie. It's not like that in every country. The United Kingdom, it's much easier to beat the tabloids when they lie about you if you're a public figure. But in the United States, you have to prove malicious intent. I think we got that here. And you're right about Michael Bowie. He's one of the best in the country, and I'm glad he's on my side and not coming after me.
If that's the case, there's something called discovery. And that might bring us into the inner workings of what is said in the New York Times. And I'm sure by now they've received a preservation letter from Michael Bowie saying, don't erase it, don't delete it, don't pull a Hillary. We might get to see the inside of all of that. Jerry, we're going to follow this case. Yeah, we're going to follow your case
about any of that. But they lied and said the doctor they talked.
Yeah.
I hope you do. I hope you do, because you need to be tough like me, Sean. But listen,
I don't have any spare time. Discovery, years, money. I have the money. I can pay for it. But then it's like, oh,
you can make
depositions.
You can make the.
They deserve it. I'll tell you that.
But they lied and said the doctor was in charge of all the public health, student health on campus. Yeah. He wasn't. He told them that the doctor on campus was.
And you gave them a chance, didn't you? You gave them a chance to correct the record. They didn't take it, correct?
Yeah, but the fact that they came from a hot spot to all right. Yeah. Okay, you go.
All right, we're going to follow the case.
Thank you, Sean.
Jr. Thank you. Also tonight.